You know, I often get asked, where's the best place to buy anime figures? And truth be told, there's a lot of answers, but some answers are better than others, and some might even lead you down a path of unexpected treasures. So I'm gonna go grab my wallet. Thankfully, it's not totally empty for once, and we're gonna go hunting for some anime figures together. But where are we gonna go, you might be asking? Well, I got a place in mind, but not before talking about the sponsor of today's video, Neokyo. Neokyo, you heard of them, right? They're an e-commerce proxy purchasing service for Japanese goods, such as anime figures, plushies, games, Pokemon cards, and so much more. And the reason you might want to use them is because even in the big 2025, there are still web stores that won't ship internationally. Neokyo is essentially a middleman service which will give you access to shop at these stores through their sites such as Zozo Town, Surugaya, and my personal favorite, Mercari Japan. And it's super simple. All you gotta do is order the items through their website, the items arrive at their warehouse, and when everything is combined and packed up, they'll ship the items directly to you. Like, I am always browsing Mercari JP whenever I get the chance. That site is so useful for finding good deals or hard to find figures. I would consider myself a bit of an addict, and that's not a lie. I may have a problem, but if the end result is just having cooler things in my collection, I don't think that's a bad problem to have. But yeah, with that being said, let's get this started. Let's browse Neokyo together, look for some anime figures, and just go through the entire process. First up, most obvious thing we gotta do is register, make an account. So you hit register up here, brings you to this page, wants your name, shipping address, email address, and of course a password. I do want to point out that the shipping address up here is just the country for now. You put in your full address later when you're ready to send items your way. And when you sign up regardless, you're going to be getting 1,000 yen off your first order, and who doesn't like free money? Alright, so now we're good to go, but what's the goal today? Well, I want to buy 2 figures, just 2. I'm going to be spending a lot of money in December, so let's not go crazy, but I want to buy 1 wishlist figure and 1 trendy figure. And the trendy one is what we'll go through together. I'll leave the first one as a surprise for you guys later in the video. But first things first, let's go over to Mercari Japan. That's where I want to shop. And as always with these proxy shopping services, I feel like it's best to search in Japanese, which isn't difficult to do if you don't have a Japanese keyboard, like I'm sure most of you don't. I don't even have one. Then all you got to do is like search up the character or the franchise on Google, or just like go to the My Figure collection page of the character or franchise, and you can find it there very easily. But what we're gonna look for today is horse. We're looking for umamusume stuff, because I actually like something that's popular for once. I'm a freak. Everything I like is just niche apparently, but dang it, the horse girls are cute, and that's all the justification I need. The show's very entertaining too. I'll play the game eventually. Now, which one to get? Well, ideally, I would like to find something that recently was released, because I figure there's not as many reviews out there. Though right now we're looking at the just general umamusume, just merchandise goods, figures might be included in here. Like, look at this silly little plushie of Machikane Tannhauser. There is nothing going on in this girl's head, just complete vacancy. Dang, 4,000 yen for a rice shower diorama acrylic stand. I mean, it's cute. I like rice shower too, but I feel like once you go past the 2,000 yen mark for these acrylic stands, it's a little hard to convince me. But I am of the opinion that acrylic stands are more exciting when it's a character that doesn't have much else in terms of merchandise. So even like for Rice Shower, I would just look for a figure for anyway. Oh, that's kind of neat, a hobby coat for umamusume. I think it's just like a generic one. It looks cool, but it's not like character specific. It's only 6,000 yen too. I don't know the price of these coats, but that seems reasonable to me. Either way, I think we should start filtering now. So I'm looking for scale figures, so I'm gonna use the price range here and go from 10,000 all the way to 30,000, which should filter out the price figures and just kind of grab the premium stuff. As for categories, we're gonna go to toys, hobbies, and goods, as well as figure on the next drop-down menu. That should be good enough for what we're looking for. Condition, I'm gonna select all. I don't really care if a figure is opened. And then we also have stuff like brands, specific sizes, colors, that's really interesting. And then shipping charges, which I'm gonna do postage included. And this is talking like domestic shipping. So the shipping to get from the seller to Neokyo's warehouse, which usually you don't wanna have to pay for. So just hit that if you're worried, and then we're gonna hit submit. All right, let's see what we got. You know what would have been perfect? If I was filming this like a few weeks later, I could have picked the Agnes Tachyon altar figure. I just have a feeling that one's gonna become eventually difficult to find and maybe more expensive, but timing is just not right for me. Maybe in Japan, I'm going in a couple of weeks. I might pick it up there. But we do have the Chestnut Cyborg Mihono Bourbon figure, which is actually getting a re-release next year, but considering, it's already on the market, I think the price has started to slowly go down, and in my opinion, this is the coolest figure for the series so far, because she's the Gundam horse, and the way this figure is set up, it kind of looks like she's launching out of the space colony she's from. It just stands out as such a unique figure for this franchise. Plus, a massive ahoge. The hair is cute. But we're gonna keep looking because, gotta make this video a little bit more interesting. Here is Majira McQueen. This one is also getting re-released next year. I think this one is also trending down now as a result. 23,000 yen, not bad. Definitely a bit more of a simplistic figure, just the character jumping in the air, very joyous. I do appreciate her spirit. I wouldn't say she is one of my favorite horse girls, though. I do like her. I like her interactions with Tokai Teo as well. But I feel like this figure doesn't speak to me enough to pick it. All right, we got the GOAT, Oguri Cap. Her Nendoroid is almost 20,000 yen. Is that right? I mean, I know she's popular, but that's kind of crazy. Are horse Nendos that, desirable right now? Is this the effect of the game going global? Now people finally realize these characters are pretty cool. Also, I got a question for the entire figure industry. Where is the TM Opera O scale figure? This shit's driving me nuts. How has nobody made that yet? Why hasn't Max Factory done it? Why hasn't Alter done it? She is such a fun character. She's so self-absorbed and overly confident in herself, but also so supportive of everybody around her who she's racing or that she respects. I certainly do have a bias towards characters that are prominently featured in the anime, but I know I'm not the only one out there, and they make all the other characters, so somebody should get on that. Anyway, let's continue. Here is Biwa Hayahide, who is very pretty. I actually don't know who made this figure. It's not on the box directly here. I think it was Max Factory. She's posed up to look all cool, calm, and collected, which is very fitting for her. Certainly not the most exciting figure though, but certainly an option. Let's continue. Mr. CB, this one's made by Fat Company, which means I think it will have a secondary faceplate. I would have to double check that. 24,000 yen, not bad. I love her design, specifically her outfit, the bell bottoms, the tiny hat. That shit's great. But I don't really have that much familiarity with her. So I feel for me, it doesn't make that much sense, but again, one that is kind of high on our list right now. Oh, you know what? This would actually be a very good one, the Tokai Teo figure from Alter. So this came out in October. I have not seen that many people open her, do a review on her, so perfect opportunity for me. Plus, I do like Tokai Teo quite a bit. This is the Beyond the Horizon version, which is her second outfit, I believe. Maybe that's not chronologically correct, but it's her second outfit she wears in the anime. Very symbolic of her return to the racetrack. Looks like a phoenix rising from the ashes. I know some people don't like this one as much as the Top of Joyful fit, and personally, I do think that other outfit fits her character, her personality a little bit better than this one. But I also really like this outfit from a design standpoint, and I do think she looks pretty good wearing it. So I think I'm gonna go with this one. I really like it, and I'm very curious to see how this one turned out. Alright, so let's create a buy request now. On this page here, you should see coupons available. If you signed up using my link down below, you definitely have one, though they do also have their own promotions going on. So you should see something there. Select it if you want to save some money, then hit confirm. And then in a minute or two, you should get notified that you're ready to actually pay for the figure. So you go to this page here and then select between PayPal, Stripe, or I guess the funds you put into your wallet on Neokyo. I'm going to do PayPal because that's what I got set up right now. And yeah, then just proceed and pay for your figure. So yeah, pretty simple stuff. Now I'm gonna go order that other figure I was talking about. You'll see it soon, don't worry. But we also gotta wait a couple of days for everything to arrive to their warehouse. So I'm gonna stop recording for now, but for you guys, it's just gonna be a couple of seconds. So see you very soon. Alright, so it's been a couple of days. All my figures are currently in storage at Neokyo's warehouse. They'll hold them for free for 45 days, which is a pretty good amount of time, as well as I think they double check to make sure everything is legitimate and not counterfeit or fake, which I really like that they do that as well. But I'm ready to consolidate all my packages, so let's do that. Now, if you're wondering why it says 3, when we originally ordered 2, I just bought something for a friend as a gift. I'm gonna blur that. Probably have to blur a lot of my footage in this part of the video, but bear with me. So now that we're on the storage page, we're going to want to click the big red pack button, you can't miss it, which is going to bring you to the package request page, though we don't have an address yet. I'm going to add that very quickly. Give me a sec. Okay, just put in my address. Can't show you that, of course, but we can see now the same page has changed a little bit, showing us the shipping providers available at least to the United States, where I live. And then if we scroll down here, we have country-specific packing options. And because I'm making this video and I need to get it pretty fast, I'm going to go with express shipping, which is EMS, DHL, and FedEx. But if you weren't in a rush, I would recommend going with the SAL, surface mail, or air mail, and you'll save a lot of money doing that. Down here, looking at step 3, select a packing configuration. I'm going to leave that on optimize my shipping cost. That just makes sense to me. And then for our step 4, select orders to be packed, we're going to go with all of them. And then we just confirm. And at this point, all that's really left to do is to wait for the invoice to come in, pay for the shipping, and then wait for the figures to arrive, which will be a couple of seconds for you guys, but a couple of days for me. So let's jump to that part of the video now. Alrighty, what's up everybody? I had a filming oopsie. I lost all the unboxing footage. Well, I didn't lose it, I just can't use the audio, so I could speak over it if I need to. However, I got the goods, and the goods are good. So that's good. And I gotta say, the way Neokyo actually packaged this box, there was a ton of bubble wrap, and every figure had like cardboard surrounding it. It was like they were wearing armor, which is kind of above and beyond with like any of these other proxy sites I've used. So very impressed with that. But yeah, anyway, Tokai Teo. I should have the footage of me unboxing this one as well. Assembly, pretty straightforward. The only thing you really have to worry about are the 3 feathers by her waist. You need to make sure the middle one is placed above the other 2. Pretty easy to do, don't worry about it. But yeah, here she is in all of her glory, and I gotta say, for a figure with like no hype at all, I really have not seen anybody talk about this figure. They killed it. This looks fantastic. I do have one small nitpick though, and I want to get it out of the way now. I wish she came with a secondary expression. Not to say I don't like the one she has right now, because it has confidence. It's not brimming with confidence, but you could see that she's proud of herself and she's posing for the fans. It's a really cute setup. But considering the outfit is so like fiery and flashy, I just wish her expression was amplified a little bit to kind of bring out the passion of the character, because you know she takes this stuff seriously. Racing is her life after all, but Alter played it pretty safe here, all things considered. That being said, she looks pretty damn cute. You can't take that away from her, and the colors on this figure are so vibrant, especially the reds and the blues. I love the gradation on the feathers and other accessories. There's gold accents all throughout the outfit as well. The shading on her hair and tail are top notch, and I like all the clear translucent plastic used for the gems and jewels. I gotta say though, what makes me really like this figure are, in my opinion, the cooler elements of this figure, like her boots, which looks like she's wearing boots inside of boots. I don't get it, but the flaring of the fluff, it looks killer. And her scarf is the coolest thing ever. It's like slightly blowing off to the side, kind of has a somewhat tattered look to it, but the glossy red, orange, and yellow with like these very large glitter flakes really stands out to me. It just has this flashiness like everything else about this outfit that I adore. Oh, and before I forget, I gotta point this out, very important detail of the figure, she's got a great tummy sculpt. Just appreciate it, and now we can move on. She is a 1/7 scale. The podium base does lift her up slightly. I think this is a pretty respectable size considering she is a rather small character, at least relative to the other characters in Umamusume, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, outside of a desire to see like a little bit more expressiveness here, I think Alter nailed it. See, I know at least some people out there are actually excited that I got this, but here is Donna Eclusia from Ys 8. I've been trying to get this for a while. Came out at a terrible time, too many figures to order, and was pretty expensive too. The assembly wasn't complicated, but there was a couple of steps because you gotta put in her twin tails, the crescent blades, as well as like this one plastic like extra peg you slide under her foot. But it's all pretty simple, nothing to worry about. And I mean, just look at this figure, look at her, this is gorgeous. I genuinely think this is some of Kotobukiya's best work. Even more impressive than the adult figure, which I really liked. I thought they did a killer job, except for one thing. The hair shading, there wasn't any. So when I say I was genuinely shocked to see that Donna's twin tails had this wonderful blending of light and dark blue paint, I really mean it. This caught me off guard. Like, wow, Kotobukiya can do this? They should do this more often because this looks outstanding. And it's funny because there's still more to talk about with her hair. There's the white ribbons that are tied alongside her twin tails, flowing alongside the movement. They're the big hair ties that kind of look like Christmas tree ornaments, and they're painted in very nice metallics. as well as her tiara, which is very sharp. Be careful if you ever poke the top of this figure, you might bleed, and I'm not kidding. Alright, so a little background on this character. I feel like I need to do this for some reason, but Donna is part of an ancient civilization, the Kingdom of Eternia, I believe it's called. And she is also chosen as the Maiden of the Great Tree, which puts her in a role of great importance, and I think that is reflected in her overall design. Her clothing, what little there is, kind of reminds me of like a dancer's outfit, just with like a little bit more armor. Certainly a lot of skin showing, and I'm gonna talk about something in a second, but also there's like a lot of translucent clothing, which definitely fits that vibe and theming, and I really like that part of her look. Her outfit just looks a bit lavish because of all the gold decor and trim, as well as the ornate design of her crescent blades, which looks awesome. They even gave the blades a bit of a wooden finish where it needed to be, and it just kind of completes the whole thing and looks spectacular. The sculpting detail throughout this entire figure, genuinely fantastic, but what I think pushes it even beyond that, and you know what I'm about to talk about, it's gotta be the midriff. Like, what divine intervention happened over there? I just said Tokai Teo had a good tummy, but that kind of pales in comparison to what we're looking at right now. And there's a couple of reasons for it. One, the outfit just shows off a lot of her midriff, even the underboob, right? Like, that's not Kotobukiya doing that, that's just her design. But she's also mid-spin, she's twirling, and she has this like graceful elegance to her. But she's also arching her back a little bit. So you're just seeing like her stretch slightly more than usual, and that is just highlighting her stomach so much. And while I'm not gonna put this on camera because sponsored and whatnot, you could totally see her butt crack if you look at the right angle. This is a very cultured figure, but you might not have known it if you just looked at this figure at a glance. Here's a quick size comparison between the two figures we unboxed today, both 1/7 scales, roughly the same height, though Teo is cheating because she is on that raised base. Here's an Osmo Pocket 3 to kind of give you a better understanding of how tall these figures are. If you don't own this camera though, I can't imagine this will help either. But whatever, thank you very much for watching, really appreciate it, and thank you very much to Neokyo for sponsoring this video, and hopefully you guys learned something today, hopefully you guys check out their service, use the link in my description down below if you want to get started, and hopefully you find something cool on there. Either way, I'll catch you guys very soon for the next one, and until then, take care. Peace.